Hi world, it's Sunday. It's midday 30, it's the 15th of March, we're halfway through March. Mars-Uranus conjunction is over, the Mars-Pluto square is over. The Uranus-Pluto square is any day now, and there's an eclipse, a big eclipse, in a few days' time. We're still right in the mix. And you know what? We've all come a long way in a very short space of time. More than half of the individuals in this planet are going to relate to the following statement: that the last 3 to 4 years bear no resemblance to the normal pattern of life's evolution so far over the course of individual lifetimes. That up until 2010 there was a theme, a rhythm, a routine that, whilst it was growing and amplifying, was nevertheless plannable, foreseeable. But that in the last 4 years there's been a strange attractor, a random factor thrown in, which has created a number of kind of parallel time loops, parallel with ours, where there's some type of difference happening between our ears. I really think that the brain chemistry is changing as a result of the pressure of population, and astrologically, the knowledge of astrology, the awareness that astrology brings. And astrology, of course, is just one system of this kind of super consciousness that I'm beginning to refer to, the consciousness revolution that we're all being part of now. The understanding now of the deeper meanings of the outer planets. For example, Pluto. Who, prior to Pluto's discovery, who in the 1910s or 1920s was talking about psychology or psychotherapy or transpersonal issues or phoenix rising or more metaphors like this? Who was looking at issues in a compulsive or intense or transformative and regenerative and rebirthing way? Very few. Prior to Chiron's discovery and recognizance, who was looking at the holistic revolution or astrology or nutrition or homeopathy or anything like that, apart from a few cranks, prior to Chiron's discovery at the end of the 70s? Prior to the usage of Ceres in astrology big time in the last 5 to 10 years, who really has been looking at nurturing? It does seem that just within the last few years there's been a much greater acceptance of the principle of integration, of holism, of looking at the cause, not the symptoms. And the more that individuals are looking at this in their own lives, the more they're putting this out into the world, and thus the world is changing. Which is why increasingly politicians, corporate leaders, religious leaders are becoming increasingly irrelevant as humans become more and more self-empowered. The logical conclusion to this suggests a major change in societal thinking and a major restructuring of society in a way that finally gets rid of this insane notion of power, greed, profit and selfishness. By need, I think humanity needs to become a social species. Not dog eat dog, because that's what all other animals do, but they only do it to eat. A good friend of mine yesterday used a metaphor about someone who abused a young woman as opposed to something like a bird, a prey, landing on an innocent young bird and killing it to eat. And the difference between humans who prey on others for fun and animals that prey on others for food. Sure, we're the only species that can laugh at ourselves. We can anticipate futures. We can dream in futures for ourselves. We can choose our future. No other species can do that, but we can also choose to be nasty. And that's not, I hope, the future human condition. Question is, look at this in a global context. What do we do? Do we take the animal option and eliminate the nastiness? Do we try and incorporate it and assimilate it and integrate it in a more holistic way and try and rewrite patternings? Do we accept that 5 to 10% of our species are actually seriously damaged, psychopathic, psychotic? Possibility, yes. These are interesting times. It does seem we are at an end of culture time. And that probably within my lifetime, and I'm pushing 60, we'll see such dramatic changes that we won't see again for millennia. I do believe that the future of the species is about to be determined over the coming few years, 5 years, 6 years. And I think that the way that we as a species look after each other is a major determining factor in the long-term evolution of humanity. We shall see. Meantime, I'm off to Bristol. Big thank you to all those people. At the big workshop I did all day, I talked about 10 students for 6 or 7 hours on Friday. That was interesting. Did about 13, 14 readings yesterday. I did end up dribbling at the end of it. And now I'm off to public lecture in Bristol. So Bristol Positive Living Group, watch out, I'm on my way. Back to the coalface tomorrow. Catch you in the morning. Have a great what's left of the weekend, folks. Bye.